Hi, Kendrick.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. It's a busy day.
Boy, it is a busy week.
Yeah,
A
you
busy
had a
week.
day yesterday.
Yes, I'm the cause for the delay. You know, we Emily's usually on a pretty tight schedule, but I didn't get off work. Well, I didn't close my work laptop until about 9:15 my time yesterday. So about a 13-hour day.
Oof.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But yeah, today we're here to talk about a show this was a great episode. Actually, it was a very complex episode, I must say.
It was a lot going on.
Yeah. There was a lot of different moving parts. The cast, this is where you really get to see how much value the aunties bring. They have a lot of layers and complexities as well. So we got equal amounts from them that we got from the kids, if you will, but they're grown adults. And let's get into family karma.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. Look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I am a complete mess. Oh, that's me, by the way. I'm Emily. I'm your host on this journey, and I speak Bravo, as I'm sure most of you do too.
What is this, honey?
I love that.
If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week.
Clip! You fool!
That's my opinion!
I talk Bravo, I talk true crime, and sometimes I talk a little scripted. So whatever you're here for, I hope you enjoy the show. The Dysfunctional Dinner.
Ooh,
I guess
which
that's
one?
a good title. Well, I was going to say they were all pretty damn dysfunctional.
Yeah. Boy.
The bachelor party house is raging. We've just had the little Brian Ovni kiss. Ovni's eyes are permanently wide open. Like
yes.
like always as wide as they can be. Like she's always she's that emoji, that like the surprise emoji.
And
And
the eyes are bust. What did Nene say? Eyes popping, lips busting. Yeah.
oh my God, she's intense. And even Brian's like a little scared of her. Like even Brian's like, she's doing a lot. And they flash to her like rubbing all up on him. And someone says something like, she wants you to lick her pussy or something. And he's like, probably.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Of course,
he's like,
probably.
he's like, most likely I think he's afraid.
You know what? Don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't either. They are going to be leaving for dinner in 15 minutes. And I was like harrowed by that. I'm like, you all are going to get in a car. Like, how are you going to get there? It's such a mess, this whole situation.
It is.
Right? Did that stress you out? It stressed me out.
You know, the smallest things, like the big complex storylines never stress me out. It's little stuff like that I'm always like, I don't know how you do it. People like that in my real life, I'm like, okay, we might have to think about ending this friendship. This is too much. This is too much for me. I can't handle this.
Yeah, I was like I don't even know how they're going to make it. Richa leaves because she has to do work in Memphis. I don't know why I was shocked
Shout
by
out.
that. Yeah, right? I was like, so was she getting on, what the hell? Is she getting on a plane?
I don't know. I wonder, because Florida is too far. I never, I have family that does like I call it the voyage to Florida, like, a couple times a year or once a year, whatever they go. But I'm always one like, okay, I'll meet you there. Just like I'll be there by plane one day. I'm not getting in that car for 10
No.
12 hours. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry.
So she was planning on leaving. Okay, so fine. Obviously, she's a little concerned that Vish will drink, but he doesn't. They get to this dinner. Avni is wearing a black turtleneck. A black turtleneck with a spaghetti strap summer dress over it.
It's a lot going on.
I was so confused by this.
Can I tell you? I was kind of enamored because it was very beautiful, but it was very off-putting too. I recently saw a wedding dress. Like, you know how Instagram, like, just, you know, those like 6 reels that, you know, you see everything on there. Good Lord, even if you don't want to. But I saw someone, and I want to say, I think it was the one, like, that designer that Portia goes to a lot with all the crystals and sparkles and like that. I think she designed a dress that, like, it was a wedding dress, and it had like this, you know, beautiful, it was huge, like Cinderella-like. It was so beautiful. And it had like these like 2 kind of huge straps coming up but weren't connected to anything. But then she paired it with like this sparkly turtleneck underneath it as a wedding gown. And it was so off-putting, but I was like, it's kind of nice, but I would never even think to do, like, is that in style now?
Listen,
are we just behind the times?
We are talking about a wedding dress situation. They are at a bachelor party in Florida.
I feel like I'm never on board with a turtleneck. I'll just say.
They were just at a pool.
Yeah.
Why do you need a turtleneck? You throw on the spaghetti strap dress with that sans turtleneck. And she's drinking someone else's drink. I'm like, oh, okay, you're unhinged. Got it.
She's got to be like 2 sheets to the wind at that point. Was it 3 sheets? 4 sheets.
I turned on Avni this scene. I was like, okay, you're never mind. So then we get this moment where Vish comes up behind Avni and puts like chips or something in her mouth, and Vish and Amrit are doing this bit where they're like stuffing food in each other's mouths, like doing this thing, and I was like, oh, they have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Amrit is all about it. Amrit wants to do more of the bit, and Vish isn't drunk. So he's not doing it as much. And so I go back to my fucking theory. I take my theory back that is why Amrit wants Vish drunk.
Okay. I had changed your mind for a little bit, but now I might be coming to your side of the equation right now.
Because literally, like, Vish was like a little bit into it, but then even he kind of recoiled a little because Amrit was getting all up in his face, and he was like, okay, this isn't the same when I'm totally sober.
Yeah.
And so
yeah. I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Mm-hmm.
Got it. So Bali asks Avni about Brian, and I kind of blame Bali a little bit for setting this next moment up, because she's like, you should tell Brian how you're feeling, because Avni's like, I'm just, he's for a good time, and she's like, does he know that though? I'm like, he doesn't care. Like, Brian doesn't need this conversation.
No,
doesn't need it at all. But
they've been on like one date, right?
It's Brian.
Right.
Brian
like,
doesn't
what?
need this conversation.
No.
But then Bali gives the line of the century. If you're banging him and he has a big dick, then go for it. But if he doesn't, then don't waste your time, girl. Period. So up walks Brian, and drunk ass Avni's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, Bali, you did this.
Me and my turtleneck, we have to have a... You know what? Maybe that's why she wore it, because she knew she was having a serious conversation at dinner.
Steve Jobs talk.
Yes, a TED Talk. That's her idea of a TED Talk right there. A damn turtleneck under a sketty spout or whatever it's called.
Your sketty strap dress.
That's our new theory. That's why she wore that turtleneck. Mystery solved. Serious conversation.
That's too funny. So this is the dialogue in this is hilarious. Okay, it's like, so she goes, I wanted us to be honest about where we both are. You're not about to get married tomorrow. And he couldn't say this fast enough. He goes, no fucking way. Couldn't say it fast enough. And then Avni goes, as much as I really, really like you. And right away I'm like, oh no, she thinks this is a rejecting him scene. She thinks this is a I'm letting him down easy, because Bali made it seem like that. Bali made her think that.
Child.
So she goes, I personally don't think we have a future. And I just think that's because we're in different places. And Brian cuts her off and goes, say that again?
Because what?
I don't understand what's happening. And he goes, I'm living in the moment. I'm just trying to learn more about you. Like, he's like, I'm going to give you. Okay, so she goes, the last thing I want to do is hurt you. And Brian goes, I don't get hurt.
City boy.
She doesn't let it go. She goes, the thing is, I want to be totally transparent. Brian's like, I think it's like no harm, no foul. And, we can always continue to stay in a great relationship. She's like, now this is where I'm like, okay, now Avni, get out of this scene already. Like, the dialogue's not going your way, girlfriend. Let it go. But she won't. She won't. She goes, I just don't want to lead you on in any way. But then he goes, I thought I was leading you on.
I mean, if we had to pick one, I would have definitely leaned more so towards Brian doing the leading. Because, I mean, they're how many years apart are they? What, 9 was it? Or
yeah, because she's like almost 40.
Yeah.
And he's what,
early
30?
30?
Yeah, he's 30, I think.
Yeah.
So, and she's okay. So she goes, well, I'm glad we could clear the air. And Brian goes, let's just stay cool. And then Avni, realizing this didn't go her way, takes it too far. She goes, I'm down with that. I still talk to my fucking last 2 boyfriends, and that's been a long time. Okay,
Yeesh.
see, then you went to a place that made it seem like you're the opposite of cool.
Yeah. Not, yeah.
So,
don't be all uncool.
Then they go, oh, that's so funny you say that, because the other ornament I have that looks like this is don't be all uncool.
I have a, back in my Roni is okay days.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a apple-shaped magnet. Someone sent it to me. I don't remember who it was, but it was someone I lost. I think someone with an Etsy shop sent it to me. And it was like a lot of different stickers, magnets. And one of them is don't be all uncool with a bite taken out of it on a golden apple. I saw that's nice.
Oh, look at
that's
that.
That's nice.
Love
look
that.
at me.
Look at you.
Okay. Now you couldn't pay me to watch them, but okay.
Right.
No Roni slander. I'm sorry. I feel like I slander them on a daily basis. I'll take a break.
You know that this is a safe place for that.
I know. There's
an era that I like seasons. Bethany's return, season 7, 8, and 9. I really I can get down with. Season 10 gets really dark because that's when Bethany and Carol feud.
Yeah,
and Dorinda goes to really dark places, and like that's when also Luann has to get. I'm putting this in real big quotes, sober. But then that's also when she like says she went to prison and like acts like she's completely unaware of the fact that her privilege got her out of everything.
Yeah.
And it's not once mentioned at all.
With that group, it never will be.
And it to this day isn't mentioned. So that's when it just goes real downhill. Anyway.
I'm always, last thing about Roni, and then I never want to talk about them again.
You can please go.
I know how much crap we give Bethany on like a consistent basis. Well-deserved crap, I might add. But I'm always, I can give someone crap and then give them their accolades in the same breath.
Same.
I don't enjoy, I never really enjoyed Roni when she wasn't there.
Same.
So like I gave the Carol, Heather, Aviva years are funny looking back on. But like,
I agree.
The show is the show when Bethany's there. And when she, even like, people blame this past season on whatever they want to blame it on. But I mean, my opinion, it was getting bad way before that. So I'm just saying. And
no, when the season before was horrendous.
Yeah, Dorinda picking on Tinsley the entire. It was
awful,
so cringy. Ugh,
awful. Leah.
Ugh.
I like that Brian in his confessional, the producers wanted to be known that Brian isn't sad about this at all, because he's like, oh well, that's over. He's like, okay, no, that was definitely not the move. His mom knew, Dharma knew.
Oh yeah, she's been praying for this moment for weeks now. She did not want this to happen. She
side-eyed that woman coming up to her son. She's like, get away from him.
I feel like you know what? I feel like she knows best. I feel like when he brings a girl that actually gets her approval, I feel like that's the one.
I agree, because I don't think she's looking for like traditional, like conservative type of. She likes to get down and have fun. She knows what he's looking for. I think she wants what's best for him and wants him to have a good time.
She knows the vibe. She knows the vibe. Yeah,
she gets it. So okay, Rish now brings up the rumor. To the group, and Bolly's like, I'm over the rumor. Bolly's drunk. I'm over the rumor. And he's like, I need to talk about it. He's like, it's really not a thing. It's a rumor. No one has any basis for anything. Me and Monica are good. We are rock solid. Okay, we believe that. Yeah. So then he talks to Monica over the side, and he's like, I'm just really embarrassed. Everyone's talking about our business. And Monica, rightfully so, is more pissed off at the source of it, which brings me to my findings.
Ooh, okay.
Remember I posted this. Okay, so in case you missed it, I decided to take a little peek over at Rishi's brother's account, Sonnet's account. Okay.
I deep dive in that before, but I unfortunately was not looking for information. I was looking for thirst traps. So,
and it's funny because I couldn't remember. I'm like, what was his account? I couldn't remember. Okay, I had to go back. What I did was I went back through our text. I'm like, he sent it to me.
Yeah.
Because he found it in 0.5 seconds. So,
yep.
The most recent post of Sonnets is a picture of him in some pool or something being like, I'm out of the shade so I can see the light or whatever. And it felt like it was a dig at being broken up with Nirja. And the comments seemed to say the same thing. Oh, now that you left her. But the comments were like a war with regard to Nirja. So there was some woman named Cassandra that is out to get Nirja, who's like, tell your girl Nirja to unblock me so we can have a real conversation, because she's been trying to talk all this shit about me. This is all in his comment section. He's not deleting them either, which is interesting because he could absolutely delete them. And this was from November 2nd, so he could have absolutely deleted this. And then some other person comments, tell Cassandra that I'm not Nirja because she's harassing me thinking that I'm Nirja. So it leads me to believe that Nirja's the drama. This was before I even saw this episode. Then we have Monica talking about how Nirja is the drama. That Nirja is getting mad at Sonnet whenever Monica and Rishi would go on trips, and she'd be like, why don't you take me on trips? And a lot of these comparing and contrasting sort of things. And so while I think that Rishi is not to be trusted and he's a little brat, and I'm going to have a lot of shit to say about that family when we get to that scene, because oh my God. This Nirja chick is drama. And I don't know if I trust what she said anymore.
Same.
Right? I'm like, I don't like it. So
I'm sorry, you brought Sonnet up, so I'm actively looking. So
look at his look at the last post of his and look at the comments.
Okay, I'm trying to bring his page up. Where'd it go?
Oh, did he disable his page?
No, I don't think so. I just gotta find it. Where the hell did it go?
Did he disable his page? Because if he disabled his page, we have a problem, sir. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. So Monica's like, I will never break bread with her again. She actually didn't say her name. She says with that person again.
Ooh.
She's Rich, she's like, you know how hard this has been on me. I woke up at 4 a.m. with anxiety, calling you crying. Okay, that's major. To wake up at 4 a.m. and calling him crying, he's just kind of looking at her like, He almost looked at the camera like, can you cut?
Like The Office, like what?
Yeah, like and he's not really reacting. He wants this to go away. And he's like, hey, so I'm sorry, about lying. And she goes, don't ever do that again. I'm like, ooh, or what, Monica? Or what? You're gonna kind of get mad at him sometimes? You're not gonna do anything about it.
Or what, Melissa Gorga? What are you gonna do about it?
Ooh, I like that you circled her in here.
Any chance to slander Melissa Gorga, I'm always gonna take it.
Who's the account that hates her? Is it all about the tea?
Probably.
I think it was All About the Tea. I think is they posted a clip from Melissa's podcast where Melissa is like not taking any responsibility for anything, and she's talking about how now Teresa's going back and rewatching old episodes, and that must be why I'm getting all these hate troll accounts. And All About the Tea posted that clip, and the caption they have is like it's like an essay because it's taking every point that Melissa says in the clip and fact checking it with dates because they hate Melissa Gorga that much that they need to they won't because you know what, I get it. Melissa does deflect a lot and she does twist things and it is very frustrating. I'm not saying Teresa's an angel at all by any means. Teresa is infuriating on a lot of levels, but Melissa and Joe are... They're infuriating. And so
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think Joe pays all his bills?
No.
Okay.
I think that's been proven. I think we have proof of it. Isn't there a current lawsuit? I might be making that up. I think a lot of things keep popping up in the housewives world in terms of like lawsuits and things like that. So I might be mixing something up, but I could have swore something just came out, didn't it?
I feel like we need to reach out to like the Bravo doc and get them like do a deep dive on their finances. I feel.
I mean, they're a little busy with Jen Shaw right now, but yes, after Jen Shaw,
if anything keeps you busy, then yeah,
no, that like the huge document or whatever just came out that they're breaking down. But I feel like just recently someone came out and sued Joe for unpaid bills. I want to say that just happened recently.
I feel like that's true,
but I could also be confusing that with someone bringing up an old lawsuit. So don't quote me on that, please.
Wait, what was this? There was a clip recently. Maybe this is what you're talking about. Someone was filming him, and I think he punched the guy or something like. Was that a whole thing?
Okay, see, here's what I think you're talking about, and this one I actually felt there was a tenant of his that was not paying rent.
That's right.
And he filmed Joe. And I sometimes, because this happened to a friend of mine one time where she was a landlord and she had this fucking horrible tenant who knew all the loopholes of how to like get around paying. And so sometimes I did give it up for, I was on Joe's side on that side. Because I'm fair.
Boo. No, I get it. I
pride myself on being fair, but that tenant was all proud of the fact that because the tenant, even in the video, was filming Joe being like, "You haven't paid your rent," and the guy goes, "The government paid it." I'm like, "Ew, why are you proud of that?" So like he was a loser.
But did the government not actually pay it? Either?
Exactly.
I'm guessing.
Like, who knows? Regardless, like I would hate that like someone was, if you know what I mean. So like, I find that in that one circumstance. However, when the last straw for me, because when it comes to Jersey, it's so annoying that it's always like a civil war every season with the same exact, but this time, just for funsies, I'm going to pick a side and be diehard Team Teresa, just for fun.
Ooh.
Because it's kind of like a sports team at this point I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to be like, go Dodgers. I'm going to be like, go Teresa.
I tell people every single season, if you don't go into Jersey with the mindset of everyone is kind of horrible, you're not going to have a good you just kind of have to realize that
everyone's
up front
terrible
and go in. Yeah, even the people I love, like I love Teresa. She's an icon. I love Dolores. I love Jen, but I mean, we can find faults in everybody. I mean, I'm just saying.
Like Jen is terrible, but I also agree with her more than I agree with Marge.
Same.
Oh my God.
Same.
Okay, so just so we are all clear on that, though, I know that Teresa, Jen, I know they're bad. Okay, so, but just for the sake of funsies, I'm going to get Jersey about it this time because it's not fun to watch Jersey and be logical because the Jersey fans are fucking crazy.
You can't be. I had to tap out of Jersey like with the commentary and stuff a while ago. Like I posted the first episode of last season, I posted my memes, and I made the mistake of saying something in the comments of like, I think I agree with Jen a little bit more than Marge, and boy, oh boy, the floodgate, there was a civil war going on in my comments. It like descended into madness. People were like, well, that's why I hope your kids get taken by the government. It's like, okay, like I'm out of here. Like, okay.
Yeah. I think what I may do just to really piss people off is just disable all comments on all my Jersey content.
Ooh.
Because sometimes I want to express myself.
I would love to do that with Potomac, just disable my comments and be like, boy, those green-eyed bandits sure do carry the show, and then just walk off.
And then run.
Just walk off and just see how that plays out in my DMs.
Just because, like, I can't watch another season of Melissa and
Period.
Joe. Just Melissa. That's it.
Right. That's all you need to say to me.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, we got off track because once you start talking Jersey, it's like
I know.
we have a lot of feelings.
We've given y'all New York. We've given you Jersey. This is a well-rounded podcast
this wasn't
today.
even intended, but it just
right.
happens. Goodness.
Look at us.
Hello. Monica lets him know, listen, I'm not comfortable moving out, okay? We're not moving in together without a commitment. As a woman, it leaves me in a very uncomfortable space to not know where my life is headed. And then saved by Brian, who's like, I'd like to raise a toast to Amrit and Nicholas. I'm like, oh, you are so fucking lucky, Rishi. You are so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we get to go over to Lopa's sexy ass apartment.
Yes.
Okay, Lopa.
Lopa is like doing the damn thing. Go Lopa.
She is like living her single life, loving it. Dharma and Chitra come over. They bring her wine and a shot glass. Lopa makes a joke. She's like, oh, let's give it to Vish and he'll go all crazy. I was like, ooh, she is missing an opportunity here.
Nope.
Have you been drinking already, Lopa?
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Because then Kalpna comes over and I'm like, I don't want Kalpna to be here. Because Vish and her sons don't get along. I don't like it.
I know. It still cracks me the hell up that she's on this show. Like,
me too.
Way more than her children. I just kind of love that. I feel like it's kind of iconic in a way.
Right? Has it ever happened before?
Right. I kind of love that. That'd be like if Mama Joyce was still like giving Marlo or somebody hell on Atlanta, but like Candy was nowhere around. That's kind of iconic. I love that. I know.
It's like historic.
Right. I live.
Lopa's confessional is that she talks about, she's like, when I first got to Miami, I was misunderstood and an outsider. But I think that my beef with Reshma had a lot to do with that. Well, we'll get into that. So Kalpna's like, oh my God, at the wedding, you were dancing. You're Punjabi. That they just automatically dance. And Lopa goes, you know what Reshma said? I was telling her that I should go join them. You know what she said? She said, oh no, you would have spoiled it. And Dharma goes, okay, she's your relative, but in my view, my observation, she's a non-caring, fake, emotional woman.
Oops. Whoopsie.
And listen, Reshma to me is the most complex of all of the aunties.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my finger on her. I can't get it. I don't get it. I don't like, are you passive aggressive? Are you mean? Or are you really this like above the bad energy?
I don't know if it's, I feel like I've met someone kind of like her.
Me too.
And it was more of a passive aggressive thing than I cared to admit. Like, I feel like I love her on the show, but I'm just like, ooh, would we be friends in real life? I don't know.
Because I prefer a Lopa. I prefer that type of in-your-face shit, so I could be like, what are you doing here? However, as we proceed through the episode, I'm like, ooh, but then I also really prefer Reshma's approach here. So, like, it's got the complexity of this cast.
I know.
So, it's so good. And so then Dharma gives the story of, she's like, I invited Reshma and Lopa to lunch, and ever since then it's been like the silent treatment. And then of course at the wedding she ignored her.
Bloop. And
Chitra is a master at playing neutral. She says, I don't know if Reshma did in fact ignore her at the wedding, I was not there. And Dharma allows her to play that neutral. She goes, she was not there. She did not see it. I'm like, okay, good. They don't do that. This is not Housewives, clearly. Because in Housewives, they would demand they pick a side.
Oh, yeah. You're not just going to ride the fence over here. No, you got to pick a side. The only person that they let play the fence for some reason is Karen Huger. And I don't know why that's allowed so often.
They sit around the island to eat, and Kalpana's like, how's dating? And Lopa's like, oh, 60-year-old men, no thank you. And Chitra goes, look, there's no perfect man in this world. And Lopa is drunk. I'm sorry. Because she goes, there's no perfect man. And Dharma goes, there's no such thing. And Lopa, for some reason, goes, back off a second. Do you think that Vishal is a perfect guy? And I said, what? Who was talking about Vishal?
I feel like even the fact that they're still, they actually got married, I feel like it drives Lopa a little bit crazy because she's like, man, my favorite pastime is slandering Vishal, and now I have to kind of ease up on it a little bit because he's family now. Ugh. But the way she talks about Reshma, it's kind of like, well.
Yeah, and I think that's her. I think that's actually her real resentment, is that Reshma doesn't demand better from Vishal. She chooses to look the other way at all the stuff Vish does. And I think that's her, because she'll say it in the later confessional, like, this is my daughter. I can make my daughter better. He's not my son.
Because Richa and Lopa are very similar, especially with their approach to problems, because they're both there's no sugarcoating with them. They're both very direct in everything they say. And when you think about it, Vishal and his parents are very similar too.
Yep.
Almost two sides. So it makes me wonder if maybe Vishal has a little side to him that we haven't seen on camera yet.
Oh, yeah. And so, because then she's like, if he thinks he's a perfect guy, then I say, and she sticks the middle finger up, and I just don't, no one really, if Dharma almost chokes. She goes, oh my God, I almost choked. And Lopa goes, go choke then. Okay, I think you have lost your damn mind.
Yep.
Because this is what it is. Lopa's in Richa's confessional, and she says, Reshma didn't teach him when to stop. Reshma should be worried. It's her, I think that's part of her resentment with Reshma. Mm-hmm. It's like, you act like Vish is a perfect guy. He wants to marry my daughter. Why are you looking at this and not taking care of it? Like, how come you're not? I think that's got to be it. That's my theory.
I can get down with that, because I feel like everything that, now that you say it, I feel like everything that she relates to him, she always, but that's kind of a theme on this show too. I feel like the parents never directly blame the child. It's always falls back as a reflection of the parent a lot. And I guess that's a very, I don't know, it might be a universal thing, or I don't know, but it's definitely reverberating on this show. I feel like we've seen that theme over and over again now.
And I will say, it's not incorrect. All of these moms have raised baby boys.
That's true.
I mean, look at them. They're all babies. Like Amrit, Vish, Brian.
Rishi?
They're little baby. Rishi, they're babies.
Yep.
And they cut over to Vish and Reshma in the office where they work together.
Of course.
So Reshma's just gotten back from Los Angeles, where she went and saw her parents, and Vish catches her up on things. And this is where I was fascinated by this woman, because Vish tells her that Richa canceled the marriage license, and also that she no longer wants to be on the title of the house. And Reshma goes, oh yeah, so many things have happened. I'm like, wow, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Right? And Vish explains that in large group settings, he needs to drink to get rid of the insecurities. And now, see, this is where I love Reshma, because she is so earnest. And she goes, so what is the solution here? What about going to Alcoholics Anonymous and trying that? And I will say, I will not ever talk bad about Alcoholics Anonymous. because they'll come for me, because they will. But it's not the only way to quit drinking. I don't want people to think that the 12-step program is the only way to do it. And if you are the only person in your group of friends that's quitting alcohol, to the thought of like, it really does make you feel like you're going to lose everything and go over to that crew of people. Like, I get why he's like, whoa,
right,
that isn't what I want to do. So he goes, I think I know what I have. And Reshma gets like excited. She's like, no. Sometimes we have to go for some type of therapy to find out. Like, she's excited for this. Like me, she goes, I've always been high on life. And I said, that is you in a nutshell.
Right.
And that is kind of why I have a hard time relating to you, because I've never in my life said high on life. I'm high on life.
About anything. So that makes me kind of wonder, though, her response to this. Do you think she's always known that it's been a problem with him, and it's just like now kind of saying it out loud? Like, I feel like she's been waiting for him to say something because she didn't want to overstep, but now she's like, okay, you've brought this out loud. I've been thinking about this for years. Let me, what about Alcoholics Anonymous? Or what about this and that, therapy? Like, whatever. What do you feel?
Yep, I think and that kind of is what's frustrating, I'm sure, for Lopa, because it's like, why haven't you said something? This is your own child. Like, why are you afraid to tell him? I mean, because I had a few people write to me about how Crohn's is like life-threatening. So
right.
People were saying things like, I was diagnosed when I was 21, and it's so much more than just being embarrassing. It can be debilitating. It's not just digestive issues. It's an autoimmune disease. You have an overactive immune system that attacks healthy organs and causes inflammation. Your body doesn't absorb nutrients from the food you eat like a normal person. And so it's not like it's just like he could literally die.
Yeah.
And so
he's literally got to like change a lot of aspects about his life.
And his mom knows that. And so that's frustrating, I'm sure, to be like, why is your own mom not giving a shit about this?
Yeah.
But she does now. Like, now she's like, but for you, if you're uncomfortable, find out the reason you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then Vish, though, very stubborn, of course, I think I know already. And Reshma goes, you don't know everything. I'm like, fine, you don't. But he goes, it's embarrassing. And this was when she goes, no, it's not embarrassing. Power, yes. To be able to say, this is how I feel, I respect that. I respect Richa a lot because she cares about you. And if this is an issue, let's deal with that. Let's work as a family. So it means around you, we have a party. We don't need to drink. And now this is where I was like, okay, never mind. Love you the most. You're the best. And I thought, now why can't there be any of this dialogue with Lopa? And why can't Lopa have any, like, we need we need you to have this conversation with Lopa and say, Vish has come to me and talked about his drinking. And I recognize that my son has this issue and I want to support him. And I realize that Richa has been affected, because that's part of it too. Like, Lopa feels like Reshma probably doesn't care how her daughter's affected.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be an element.
Happy family now.
It's like, are you not going to give a fuck that your son's doing this and my daughter spent her wedding night alone?
Right.
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of this resentment.
I can definitely see that, because that's like a tale old as time too. That's like at the base level, when you have like a friend that's dating someone that you hate, they come to you with all the bad stuff, rarely ever the good. And so like when this person proposes to them and they accept, you're like, what the hell is happening? Like, you've had nothing but a terrible, because we don't hear about the good stuff.
Yeah.
We literally only hear about the bad stuff. So that might be the case with Lopa. I mean, she might, which is kind of funny though, because they're on a TV show. And if you watch this show, when we got introduced to these characters, it almost feels like Richa is the one that like controls everything. Like, she's clearly in the driver's seat. Vish is in the passenger seat, and what she says goes. And so hearing everyone on the show kind of say the opposite of that is weird in a way, because we have to form our opinions based on what we see. And so Lopa having an entirely different opinion than what we do, it's like,
yep.
Oh, this is a little a little conflicting.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. And I mean, Reshma talks about the relationship beautifully. She loves Richa. She's worth it. The relationship is worth it. As where Lopa hates it. So there we go. But then Vish is like, Lopa's in town. I would love it if you had them over for dinner. Reshma looks terrified. She wants to throw up. So Brian and Rishi play tennis. Cute little scene. But then afterwards, we get these like, okay, so they talk about, at one point though, Rishi's like, hey, Brian, how's dating life? And they flash to this date with some chick who's like, couldn't care less about Brian. Like, poor guy.
If I can just get one opportunity.
I was going to say, like, how is Brian the loser guy? Like, Brian is stunning. What are we doing?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. What are we missing? Can you please explain this? Like, how is he coming across? Like, you want to know why? He's Joey. He is the Joey of this cast. Right?
Yep.
There's no other way to put it. Like, he's so gorgeous, but he's like an idiot.
Yeah.
So you get him on a date.
He's really jokey too. So it's hard, like, when, I don't know. You know, sometimes the allure of the first date is what's the most fun, when you don't know much about the person and you know, they're so mysterious and stuff. And I feel like he probably always comes in like a clown on steroids, just like ready to crack joke and this kind. And you know, it takes a particular kind of person to love that energy, like from the get go. Yeah. So we might have, you know what did we pitch? We pitched did we pitch a Brian Dayton show on here before?
Yeah.
I think we did. I need to see that though. I need like 3 episodes, and I need to see you know, him date a multitude of women, like different kinds. Don't just give him one type. Like let the parents be involved. I want them. Matter of fact, I want them to be the ones picking the dates for him.
Yep, that's what
because I feel like they know. I feel like they know.
Dharma gets it. Because Dharma is like funny and silly too. So like she would pick basically herself type of vibe.
Right.
Which, let's face it, at the end of the day, you want to be with your mom. So.
It's a vibe. Right.
It's a thing. Rishi wins and at tennis, and in the confessional, Brian's like, I'll admit that Rishi is a better tennis player, but I'm a better overall athlete. And Rishi goes, how high can you jump? What's your vertical? And Brian goes, I can dunk on a NBA regulation rim.
Which I don't believe.
No, not at all. He just starts. He tries to keep a straight face and just starts laughing.
I love you have to specify. That's amazing.
Yeah. So they chat over the side about like how Monica is doing. And it's not going great. So there's these like simultaneous scenes going because Monica goes over to her friend Neelam's house, who has 3 kids, and Monica is talking about how she's like, this is the life I wish I had. And I'm going to be shady real quick because she may want this life, but her friend Neelam looks about 10 years older than her. Okay. Ooh. That's what kids will, they're great, but like, Monica, enjoy your youth while you have it. Okay? Literally, I was like, is this friend old? No, her friend's same age. Got it. Like, come on now. I mean, her friend was a little older, but like, Neelam looked tired. She has twins
kids
and
will
a
work
baby.
The hell out of you. Right.
I'm like,
all
she
young.
looks exhausted. I'm like, help her out more, Monica, if you like him so much. You need to be babysitting more. I was like, you clearly don't go over a lot because
clearly
this woman needs help.
Child. Perfect opportunity to shoot a scene.
Right? So they go in the trampoline, and it's the most set up scene. It's like it's set up so she can say, I don't like being given a timeline and having that timeline not be met. Cut to Brian and Rishi. He says he's going to propose before her birthday. Back to Monica. Neelam's like, what's the most recent promise? When was that? And Monica said, oh, he said by the time I'm 30. And Neelam's like, but you're already 30. Monica goes, exactly. Back to Rishi. Brian goes, so you're serious? Before her birthday? And Rish goes, long pause. Well, I don't have anything planned. I don't like, you said it. You said it. And then when he asked, whoa, are you serious before her birthday? He's like, I take it back. Did I say that? I take that back. I thought your reaction isn't cool. I'm freaked out. What did you, I take it?
See, this is the kind of stuff that pisses people off, because this is that time when, like, when she brings it up, like, well, you said it probably happened before I'm 30. Then it's like, well, it's this and it's that. Then the little gaslighting comes in to make it seem like you're crazy for actually expecting something that you said out of your mouth. Now, why is that crazy?
Exactly.
Oh.
So
these 2022 men.
Back to Monica, she goes, I'm wondering if it even registers to him how hard it's all been on me with the rumors and everything. He doesn't care, Monica.
No.
That's the point. He doesn't give a shit.
He just wants to make sure you don't believe him, so you stay with him. Now, whether it's true or not, irrelevant.
Exactly that. Amrit and Nicholas have their wedding designer over, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't generally give a shit about wedding planning, but a gay Indian wedding, I'm here for this. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's never been done. I know that's right. Okay. Give it to me right now. I'm here for this.
I want to pick flowers and everything with you. Take me for the
Google
ride.
Slides. Give me this Google Slides. Can we see them all, please? Okay.
Oh my God. All of it.
All of it. But then it's sweet because Nicholas is worried. He's like, my parents are going to be there, and there's not a whole lot of our traditions in this, because obviously the Indian traditions are going to outnumber those. Because at one point he even gets a little overwhelmed with what the designer is speaking about in terms of the various clothing and the events, but it's going to be gorgeous, and they're going to look fabulous regardless. So I cannot wait for this.
This is amazeballs.
Amazeballs. So, Reshma,
you know who should plan it?
They're
in Miami.
You just got so excited. What? Who?
They're in Miami. Gertie should have done the wedding.
Oh my God, Gertie should have done the fucking wedding. Oh my, Gertie.
That would have met. You know what? That would have been the Peacock crossover event that I would have wanted to watch.
Real missed opportunity there.
God, bravo. Who the hell is in? You know what? I'm not going to do that.
You know what? We're mad about that. That is not okay. Wow. Okay. I don't know if I can get over that right now. I mean, the chance to have had Gertie on Family Karma.
It would have been amazing.
I might cry right now because we could have had that. Oh my God.
Those are literally my favorite reels to scroll by when I'm on Instagram. When I see Gertie's like showing another wedding that she's done, I'm like, oh my God.
Can you imagine?
God, that would have been. And you know what? And she does like every culture and oh my God.
It would have been
amazing.
Wow.
Did you see the one on the most? I don't know if it was the most recent episode or not, but it was one of the new 5 that have come out. And when she walked in with the bride, and there was like white flowers dripping from every
I actually think that was a fucking baby shower.
Was it?
Yeah, because I remember thinking,
holy
this
shit.
is a baby shower? Like,
good Lord.
No, everything she does, that's why it was so stupid when Alexia was like, my bachelorette party at the mansion, and I loved, Gertie goes, okay, that was napkin art. I did from scratch production, honey.
Hello.
I loved the way Gertie did that. Gertie just knows what she's talking about. I love that.
Right. And she's credible because we've seen her work. I'm like, sorry, Alexia.
I can't. Alexia, you try. Alexia's looking a little embarrassing, but I am living for it. But it is a little, I'm like, Alexia, you are looking a little embarrassing.
I'm living for everything going on in Miami right now. Family Karma and The Housewives.
So
I love it all.
Get it together.
Yes.
I can't believe we missed that. Oh my God. Wow. What a bummer. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to move on now. Thanks, Kendrick.
I'm upset. I know. God.
All right, well. Reshma, Lavina, and Chitra, they go to dinner. Whatever. Reshma and Lavina have a confessional. Together, the two of them are very sweet and adorable and sweet. Reshma says that their sons have grown very close. And Lavina goes, I guess you could say it's a bromance, but they're like not quite sure what that means. And she goes, or no, what is it? Like she looks genuinely confused. But then she's like, oh, I'm learning new terms now. Like she's a sweet, like sincere, earnest person.
Yes.
As where I think Reshma is a little more calculated. And I think Lavina doesn't quite realize that, which is why their friendship works. but why other people, like when we get to the next week like teaser, I think Lavina truly doesn't realize this in Reshma. We'll continue.
I love that.
So,
I love an unsuspecting.
Yes, Lavina like legitimately is a sweet, kind, like this is Amrit's mom. Like the scene with him coming out, like she's not, I don't think she has a mean bone in her body. And so, but Reshma's got a little bit under, I just, something is, I can't put my finger on it, but something's there.
I feel like we'll know by the end of the season.
Yes, something's gonna come out of her because she's blossomed in her confessionals. Something's happened. Like she's awake in her confessionals and like can't quite hide it. And something's she's gonna lose it at some point.
She's a little activated.
Yeah.
Put that battery in her back. I love that.
Yeah. So Reshma tells him about Lopa coming for dinner, and Lavina says it will be so nice. She's like, it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. And Reshma's like, well, fine. Would you like to come over too? And Chitra is so fucking funny. She goes, well, now see, this is not right. I'm sitting right here. And Reshma goes, oh, so you can come too. And Chitra goes, see, second thought. I love Chitra and Dharma. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them.
I love like hilarious like narrators on a show. People that like don't necessarily have to affect the drama. They can just.
Yes.
Do you remember that Atlanta reunion where I think it was the one where Kim Fields was there, but like the entire time Candy and Sheree were in the corner like cracking jokes about everything going on. That was the best. It was so funny. It. I love when you get like those kind of characters
the whole time,
the entire time.
Yes,
amazing.
I want to watch that reunion actually because I just thought about the other day because I was like looking for clips and I love when Kim goes say something to Kenya and Sheree goes, "Oh, what you gonna do?"
Yes, that's my.
She like pulls herself in.
I love every time. I always think about because I cannot see this clip without thinking about Aaron from Bravo While Black. But every time when Candy gets up at the reunion, it was that infamous season 9 reunion where they find out Phaedra was behind everything. When she gets up and then Sheree does that, oh my God!
Aaron does it so well.
He does.
Aaron does it exactly like her.
I laugh every single time. It's so stupid, but so hilarious.
He does it perfect. He does it maybe better than Sheree does it.
I think he does.
He does it better than her.
Oh my God! Bring back Atlanta.
Oh God, I know. We had that was such a good time recapping that. That was a great time.
Oh my God! I'm ready for them to come back.
Me
good
too.
Stuff. Manietta's still there. So all good stuff.
Me too. I'm so happy.
God, we've touched on all the housewives.
I know.
Today.
We do Atlanta now. Oh my God.
Miami, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta. Good Lord. OC's film, after they're done, they'll be back at some point. Who cares? But, But we'll be watching.
Lavina at one point goes, Chitra, you're going to be coming to Amrit's wedding, right? And she says, yes. And Reshma teases, oh, you can't come. You can go to Amrit's wedding, but you can't come to Vish's wedding. And Chitra is like, well, you know who was at your wedding? Dharma. And Reshma makes a face. And she has a bone to pick about that. She goes, well, you know that she told Vish about that. And when they flash to Vish telling her about that, Reshma is very like passive aggressive. She's like, can you imagine? I was so busy. But then at the dinner, she's like, I don't like that she told the kids. I don't like that she involved the kids in that. But I honestly don't think that if Dharma came to Reshma and said, hey, I thought that you were slightly ignoring me at the wedding, I don't think she would have received it at all.
No. It probably would have been like a kind of like, no, you're crazy. I didn't do that. It's okay. Do you want to stay for lunch? Like it would have like moved right past it and not acknowledged it at all. Sometimes you just need people to acknowledge shit.
She wouldn't have even said, do you want to stay for lunch? She would have been like, no, I don't. I'm so sorry, but I do have to go.
Right. Okay.
And the ignoring would have continued, and it was like, oh my God. Uh-huh. And Reshma admits in the confessional that lunch, she was like, I was upset. I did not ask for this help. And so again, and she gets this really sassy face, like, mm-hmm. And the producer goes, and did you ignore her at the wedding? She goes, no, I don't think so. Ooh. So you did, okay?
Yeah.
it's either one way or
Yeah.
you don't think you know. Okay? You don't think you know. All
Yeah.
right? I don't want to hear
Yeah.
it. I don't want to hear it.
They kind of solidified right there. Yeah.
We all. Oh, right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So Chitra's like, I think you should sit and talk with Dharma. And then she's like, I'll think about it. See? I don't like it. But then here's where Lavina is just earnest and sweet. She goes, are you running away from your problems? See? Damn. She says it because she says it like and Rishma gets defensive. She goes, no, I'm not running away. And so defensive, she goes, what would you do in my shoes? And Lavina's not matching her energy. This is why she can be friends with her. Just matter of fact in that way that only Lavina can be. She goes, face it and deal with it. Almost like she's saying it like, this is just what you do. Simple as that. No problem. It will be fine.
Yep.
And Reshma
There you
goes,
go.
I don't think I ignored her, honestly. Listen, Reshma, I need you. I don't like it. This is where she makes me crazy.
This is one of those times where I wish there were like universal producers across Bravo, because they did show like a small clip, but like had this been like Potomac or Atlanta, we would have gotten like a minute worth of footage of her like ignoring everybody at that party, like not paying attention to them at all. And then that's what we need, some concrete evidence to like show that she was ignoring everybody at this party.
We did need that. We only got that one little clip, and technically it could have been of anything. And like we didn't know if it was
could have been spliced together. Exactly.
Because I believe it.
Me too.
I believe it. So, all right. Now we're at Vish's house. This is the first dinner. All of them are together as a family. Richa and Lopa are on their way. Richa points out, just like, you don't even have anything. You're bringing nothing to the house. So I'm like, already we're doing great. I'm like so nervous. I'm like, stop and get something. Get wine. I don't know. I'm so scared.
Flour, something. Oh my
freaking
God.
out.
Get chocolate. I'm making like it's Valentine's Day right now, but bring something.
Get something. So
Goodness.
Richa, when they enter, the Parvanis do a tradition to greet them. And Reshma compliments Lopa right away. You look very beautiful. Lopa cannot take the compliment. She just looks at her like, really? But Lopa did look great. I want that dress. She looked great in that white, right? It was like, where'd you get it?
She looked fantastic. You know what?
And
you know what? No one on this show, I love a cast that's not afraid of colors either. They just, whenever they put something on, like those confessionals, 10s across the board.
Oh yeah, they look amazing. God, the confessionals look fantastic. Vish offers wine to Lopa, and she says no, but then he like continues to awkwardly offer. He's like, champagne or water. But then Richa has to jump on that. She's like, you should drink water. So I'm going to say something. Richa needs to do some of her own research on how to deal with someone who is struggling with a drinking issue. Otherwise, this is an ugly journey ahead. Because I get that she's got her own triggers and she's nervous because she looks very nervous. But like, you can also join him in this journey a little bit, because this is going to get real uncomfortable if you're constantly doing this with him.
And you know what? It could be a thing of like, when the cameras aren't there, she's literally the most supportive person ever walked this planet. But like, it doesn't matter because like, we don't see that. So it's like, we have to form our opinions based on what we see. And every time we see it, it's almost just like, you know, you pointed out perfectly at the bachelor party last week, I think, when she was there. He told her he thinks he has a drinking problem. She's like basically moved right on and just like told him to have a good time at the party and stop stressing. And like, it's like, okay, that was a big revelation. Like, I think we need to, you know, sit and talk about that for a minute. Because, good Lord. Like,
it's already hard enough for men to open up about their feelings. Let's take a minute, hear him, and say, I got you. What do you need? You know?
True.
So if you're walking into an event and he's not going to be drinking, know that ahead of time. Like, have a conversation like you're not going to be drinking, right? And don't go, you should be drinking water, and embarrass him in front of everybody.
Right.
You know?
Go.
Because then Reshma felt the need to be like, he is drinking water. He's just drinking water. Like, she felt the need to jump on that and be like, he's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And that's going to set up a bad dynamic in marriage if the mother feels like she has to constantly defend her son against the wife.
Exactly.
I don't think there have been many marriages that have worked out where the mom and, daughter-in-law are feuding a lot. So,
well, we've already got Lopa dealing with,
right.
What I mean?
Then you got a Lopa in the equation. It's just, it's a lot going on.
We got a lot going on.
Figure it
here.
out.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah. Dude, Vish calls Lopa mom, but he says it's so weird that I didn't even realize he called her mom.
Was it mom or something like that?
He's
mom?
like, ma, or something. I was like, I didn't know it. Anyway, now we get Rishi's house and Monica. Monica goes over in a hot pink satin dress and heels. I was like, where's she going?
Right. Like, y'all going to the club after this? What is happening?
Is this how she normally shows up? Because damn. She must have. She wondered if someone was there. She did this for a reason. This was intentional. I'm not 100% sure why, but oh my God.
Do you think she thought Nirja was there? And she was
wonder.
like, I'm gonna show this motherfucker how you do it. I'm gonna show you how I bitch walk in a room. I'm just saying.
I have been distracted by this multiple times with Monica, and I hope someone in her, I hope one of her friends lets her know she's using the absolute wrong color foundation. It is yellow, and it's sitting on her skin, and it is all wrong.
I feel like when people are on TV, people don't tell them that for some reason because it takes a long time to course correct.
I mean, it was at the bachelor party. I was like, maybe this is just because when she's doing her makeup always do your makeup in natural light. That is whatever lighting you're going to be in. That's what you should be doing your makeup in front of. But at this dinner, so much was happening. But every time they cut to Monica, I was like, God, her makeup is yellow.
I'm glad you said that because
it was so distracting.
I noticed it on a couple of shows too, where people it's just not your color, and I'm always like, you know what? I'm not a makeup artist. Maybe I'm always feel like when I notice something like across multiple people, I'm like, you know what? I'm outside of the trend. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. But I'm glad you said that because I'm like, I've noticed this a couple of times.
Yeah.
With Monica.
So it's not, and because she's hot, she's gorgeous. And so I'm like, someone just needs to help her out.
You don't need much. Like when you have a face like that, you don't need much. Maybe a little, and you're good. Put a lipstick on. You're good.
Exactly. She's putting on way too much.
Mm-hmm.
So we found this out already, but she is very close. She calls Rishi's mom is like her second mom. We've got the grandma is there. But
we also know how Monica is with moms. So.
So Rishi's dad, I clocked him immediately. I'm like, this guy has player energy to me. He just had it,
Look at his son. It's like you can tell.
His energy was very like salesman-y, like he had that vibe. So she's like, oh, I love that you guys are going to be moving in together, and Rish is like, okay, I just, I want to let you guys know that the moving in is a little on pause because of the whole, rumor thing that happened. And Rish's dad, kind of aggressive. He's like, oh, what rumor thing? And then Rish goes, the whole thing. And then the dad interrupts. Oh, the basic BS. Now, why the fuck did you ask if you were only planning on dismissing it like this?
You know why? Because that shit was planned between those two.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That shit was planned between them. He wanted to make sure that Monica knew that their family knew, oh, these are just baseless little rumors. We don't care about any of that. You guys will be just fine. And whatever Rishi says, it's okay. Just believe him. It'll all be all right. And oh, Monica.
This was dark. This whole scene I was uncomfortable. He was like, you got to live with BS. So Rishi's mom is like squirming in her seat uncomfortably. And I'm like, because then the dad starts talking and he's not making eye contact with anyone specific, sort of like talking to the table. And he goes, there's more to life. As long as you rectify it and you're happy. And I go, oh, he's cheated. He's cheated multiple times. And this wife of his has to put up with it. And the sons know. And this is just this is just what they put up with. Because then Rish and the mom are like, there's nothing for them to rectify. So he's like, well, yeah, just say whatever you have to say to calm the situation down and move on. What the fuck is wrong with this man?
Right.
What is he saying?
Goodness. I don't know. This almost feels like people that are nervous and are performing for the camera.
Oh, Monica thought this scene was going to be very different. She thought she was being invited over to talk about the rumor.
Oof.
Oof. They were like, oh, no, we're going to have a nice dinner. Monica goes...
Well, we've all pre-planned this conversation without you.
Monica goes, I think it's better to be open about it because something like that, could be a little scary to go through for a second. It kind of spooked me out a little bit. No one is talking or responding. This is so uncomfortable. They all know something. And Monica goes, I would rather have the security of an engagement. And Rishi's mom goes, well, take your time. But, different things will come up in life. Today it's this, tomorrow it'll be something else. It's never a smooth ride. Okay, so you're co-signing him leading her on. Monica, you have no radar for fucking bullshit.
Right.
You need to open your dumb eyes. I'm sorry. This is your fucking favorite family. Why do you want to be with this family?
Yeesh.
Hello. I was so mad watching this scene. I'm like, Monica, hello. This husband cheats on this woman all the time. All the brothers clearly know that. Then they do a quick cut to the sister. I'm like, has she said one thing this entire time? The sister's just emo over here eating I hate my family. I hate everything. I can't wait to move out.
Right. She's like, y'all invited me to this dinner and I had no idea these cameras the cameras have never been here in the existence of these 3 seasons. And for some reason they're here tonight. I hate everything about this.
She's like, I resent Monica's. She's like, Monica's so stupid. She's like, this dumb bitch over here. She's so stupid. Rish is fucking cheating on you. Okay.
Yeah. And
Rish's mom, now she's talking to herself. She's like, nothing's ever going to be smooth in this life. There's no perfect. I'm like, girl, you are talking to yourself. Okay. And Rish's dad is like, no big deal. I'm like, get out of here, you creepy man. I can't stand you.
It's a lot. It's
a lot. Speaking of a lot, now we go back to Vish and Richa. So they all sit to eat. Vish's sweet dad is like, Richa thank you for having me for dinner, uncle. And he says, no, don't thank me. Our house is your house. He says it makes him so happy to see the two of them together. And Vish, I want to kick his ass. He goes, Richa, you stress my dad out too much when you fight with me. Okay, now you're asking for it. Now you're fucking asking for it.
I know you lying.
Okay, Richa goes, uncle, I won't fight with Vishal if he won't drink it and lie as much. And Vish's dad's so earnest. He goes, what happened? Okay, so here's my question. Did he know what happened? Or did Vish just decide to randomly say, you stress out my dad when you fight with me? Why did you do that? Why did you decide to randomly use your sweet dad? That was dumb, Vish. That was dumb, and it was manipulative. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it. Because you're trying to make Richa always look like the bad guy, and you look like the angel, and that's why Lopa gets mad. Because Lopa's like, can you guys fucking discipline your son?
This felt very, oh my God, this is wild. I'm going to yet another Housewives city. But it felt as manipulative as Jen Shaw at this past dinner using, it's so frustrating that you even have to question someone talking about suicide attempts like that. But no one was even poking her, and her having a feeling the need to bring that up to weaponize against people. That's what it feels so icky when people either bring other people in and try to get them to justify things they've done, or when they try to use their own personal, whatever they're going through in an attempt to use it against you. It's so icky. It's just, and there was no reason to relate it back to this.
That's
no reason
why
to bring it
when he tries to get mad at Richa later for getting heated, I'm like, you started this, dude.
Yep.
You wanted it, okay? So I'm not even mad at Richa. Don't even try.
Yep.
Because she's like, you're literally lying to my face in the eyes saying you didn't drink when you did. And he goes, you're stressing out my dad. Okay, now I'm gonna fucking I was like, you asked for it. You out of nowhere were like, you stress out my dad when you fight with me. He's like, what?
Right.
Didn't even
I'm over here minding my business. Why am I in it?
What are you talking about? And so Richa has an honest conversation about it, and I was here for it. I was here. Here's what I was surprised for. Lopa didn't know that Richa didn't get the marriage license.
That's kind of wild to me.
I was like, she's going to kill. Is she going to get mad? I couldn't tell where she was going to go with it.
I feel like if I was either set of parents, that would you mean to tell me we paid all this money for this wedding and y'all are talking about y'all aren't legally married yet? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I was
waiting for someone to get mad.
Right.
I was like, dude, you're in trouble.
Couldn't have been me, but okay.
So it is a heated conversation, but it does end very well. And without going through the whole details of it, when Reshma does finally say that Vish had a conversation with her, and as a family, we're all going to support him, right? With this drinking, it softens Lopa. And she goes, it takes time. It's just one step at a time. And I was like, we might be getting somewhere. This might. And then Vish actually goes, thanks, Mom, for coming. And I'm like, okay, you said that properly. And then Lopa says, thanks for inviting me. And Reshma says, no inviting. You can come anytime.
Oh.
And so as much as it was like a heated whatever, they got to a place where they were all on the same page. Okay?
That's all we can ask for. That's all we can hope for.
That's all we can.
No matter how we get there, listen, we got there, okay?
But speaking of not on the same page, thank God Monica's like, I gotta go, guys. Bye-bye.
I'm tired of the dumb shit. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Rish walks her out and he's like, what did you expect us to talk about? I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. She thought she was filming a scene. That's what she thought that scene was. She thought she was coming over for the cameras to talk about what happened. He's like, well, we're not going to talk about it in front of my grandma. And she's like, I am not coming over again to film a scene with your family again to make it seem like we're cool, because we're not fucking cool. That's what she was saying. That's literally what she's like, don't try me like this again.
You notice that was basically how the episode started and how it finished, because he wanted to make sure people knew in that bar. Bali's like, why are we talking about this? He's like, no, we all need to, verbally say that we all know that me and Monica are okay. And now the episode ends with, we want to make sure that we're okay. It's like, okay, doth protest too much?
Yep.
It's too much going on.
And
Way
she goes,
too much.
I'm not going to forgive this, and I'm not going to forget this. So fuck you, Rishi. I was like, yeah, thank you, Monica. Bye-bye.
Can I just, why Monica kind of annoys me sometimes? I'm literally realizing recording this episode, it's that she does remind me of Melissa Gorga so much with like her mannerisms.
Her mannerisms. That's so interesting.
That sound like that came out of Melissa Gorga's mouth when you just said it. I was like, oh, I can hear her saying that.
Yeah, she does. They do have very similar mannerisms.
They do.
How funny. Next week, we finally get the Anisha Monica showdown that I've been waiting for. Give it to me already. And Dharma and Lavina and Lopa are going to get into it. So
we love that.
We love that. Sorry. Okay. That's it. We're done. Thank you very much, Kendrick. We got through it in like an hour, I guess. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's better. It's easier when we're not talking about White Lotus. We do R.I.P. White Lotus. We did miss you last Sunday. I know. We did miss you. Anyway, thank you, Kendrick.
Why, thank you. Thank you for having me, as always.
As always. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
That was good, Kendrick. I can't find the button. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. If you wouldn't mind, if you are listening, could you please leave a 5-star rate and review? That would be amazing. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and comment below. That would also be fantastic. Don't forget, I've got the Patreon up and running now. That is where all the Bravo jams will be covered. I'm talking table flip. I'm talking old school Atlanta. I'm talking old school Beverly Hills. All the good stuff that brought us together as Bravo fans. And of course, follow me on social media if you're not already at She Speaks Bravo on TikTok and on Instagram. And if you want to go that extra mile to support me, buy me a coffee, or 2, or 5 at buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.